Incoming!
Should do the trick. Clean hit. Not a problem.
Too late! Now you're dead!
Kill that
Time to
one.
fight! Enemy charging!
Deploying incineration tank.
Behind you!
Be right there. Next.
About to go off!
Burn through any armor.
Time to head there! Feel the blood rage!
Repurposed Krogan Hospital. Sturdy, built to withstand punishment. That body, human. Need to take a look. Sores, tumors, ligatures showing restraint at wrists and ankles, track marks for repeated injection sites. Test subject, victim of experimentation.
I don't suppose there's a way to tell who this poor bastard was?
No tattoos or ID. Maybe slave or prisoner, maybe merc or pirate. Irrelevant now. Clearly part of Krogan tests to cure genophage. Humans useful as test subjects. Genetically diverse. Enables exploration of treatment modalities.
Experimenting on humans? That kind of crap is what makes Cerberus start to seem like a good idea.
Never used humans myself. Disgusting. Unethical. Sloppy. Used by brute force researchers, not thinkers. No place in proper science. Krogan use of humans, unsurprising.
What can you tell about their experiments from looking at the body?
Position of tumors suggests deliberate mutation of adrenal, pineal glands, modifying hormone levels, counterattack on glands hit by genophage. Clever.
How are humans more genetically diverse?
More variable. Peaks and valleys, mutations, adaptations, far beyond other life. Makes humans useful test subjects. Larger reactions to smaller stimuli.
Now we've got 2 reasons to shut this place down.
Focus on Malin. Too late to help the dead.
I am the speaker for Clan Werlock, Offworlders. You have shed our blood. By rights, you should be dead already. But Werlock Gold, the Chief of Chiefs, has ordered that you be given leave to flee and spread the message of our coming.
If I flee, I might trip over the dozen Krogan I killed to get here. I think I'll take my chances.
You killed our youngest and weakest human. They were not worthy of remaining near our glorious work. Inside, you will find only hardened, blood-packed veterans, tempered by savagery and war, and dedicated to one goal! The Solarian will cure the Genophage, and Clan Werlock will spread across the galaxy in a sea of blood!
Appears they discovered Malin's work. Unfortunate.
If you care about the future of Clan Werlock, you'll hand over Malin. Now.
When we cure the Genophage, Werlock Gold will rule all Krogan. The Krogan rebellions will become the Krogan Empire. The surviving races will frighten their children with tales of what the Blood Pact did to the Turians. The Asari will scream as their citadel plunges into the sun. We will keep Solarians as slaves and eat their eggs as a delicacy. If you lack the wisdom to flee, then you will be the first of billions to be crushed beneath our might!
You talk too much.
See? The human cannot hit a simple target!
Enemies inbound.
Nothing can hurt me! Come out, fight! Get them dead!
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Lab's likely through there. Can smell antiseptic, hint of dead flesh.
Just get us there.
Active console may contain useful data. One moment. Genetic sequences, hormone mutagens still steady. Protein chains, live tissue, clone tissue. Very thorough. Standard treatment vectors, avoiding scorched earth immunosuppressants to alter hormone levels. Good. Hate to see that.
What was it like working on the Genophage modification project?
Best years of my life. Wake up with ideas, talk over breakfast, experiments all morning. Statistical analysis in afternoon, run new simulations during dinner, set data runs to cook overnight. Laughter, ego, argument, passion, galaxy's biggest problem, massive resources thrown at us. Got anything we wanted.
Do you keep in touch with your old team members?
No. All changed with deployment. Made test drop on isolated Krogan clan, hit rest of Tuchanka when results were positive. End of project. Separate ways. Watching it end, watching birth rates drop. Personal. Private. Not appropriate for team.
How can you agree with using the Genophage, Morden? Look at what happened to Tuchanka as a result.
State of Tuchanka not due to Genophage. Nuclear winter caused by Krogan before Solarians made first contact. Krogan choices. Refuse truce during Krogan rebellions. Expand after Rachni wars. Splinter after Genophage. Genophage medical, not nuclear. No craters from virus. Damage caused by Krogan, not Solarians, not me.
So if the Krogan banded together and formed a united government, you'd welcome that?
Yes, United Krogan saved Galaxy, destroyed Rachni. Genophage not punishment, simply alters fertility to correct for removal from hostile environment.
Most people wouldn't be so casual about developing a sterility plague, Morden.
Not developing, modifying, much more difficult, working within confines of existing genophage, 100 times the complexity. Errors unacceptable, could cause total sterility, malignant tumors, could even reduce effectiveness, worse than doing nothing. Had to keep Krogan population stable, 1 in 1,000, perfect target, optimal growth, like gardening.
You're saying you were working just as hard to keep their population from falling?
Yes, could have eradicated Krogan, not difficult, increased mutation to degrade genetic structure further, chose not to. Rachni extinction tragic, didn't want to repeat. All life precious, universe demands diversity.
We're not gonna find Malin staring at consoles. Come on.
Dead Krogan, female. Tumors indicate experimentation. No restraint marks. Volunteer. Sterile Werlock female willing to risk procedures. Hoped for cure. Pointless. Pointless waste of life.
What was pointless? Her volunteering or the doctor's experiments?
Both. Her mistake forgivable. Theirs not. Rest, young mother. Find your gods. Find someplace better.
I didn't expect spirituality from you, Morden.
Genophage modification project altered millions of lives, then saw results. Ego, humility, juxtaposition, frailty of life, size of universe. Explored religions after work completed. Different races. No answers. Many questions.
Sounds like you were trying to deal with your guilty conscience. The doctor who killed millions.
Modified genophage project great in scope, scientifically brilliant, but ethically difficult. Krogan reaction visceral, tragic, not guilty, but responsible. Trained as doctor, genophage affects fertility, doesn't kill, still caused this. Hard to see big picture behind pile of corpses.
Can you really just rationalize it all away? How do you justify it?
Wheel of life, popular Solarian concept. Similar to human Hinduism in focus on reincarnation. Appealing to see life as endless. Fix mistakes in next life. Learn, adapt, improve. Refuse to believe life ends here. Too wasteful. Have more to offer. Mistakes to fix. Cannot end here. Could do so much more.
We need to find Malin and shut this place down.
Yes.
This might be useful.
You killed the Bloodpack guards.
Not Bloodpack, not member of Clan Werlock. Wrong clan markings.
I'm a nerd not scout. Werlock guards got me. Brought me here.
You don't look so good. Are you injured?
They gave me things. Injections mostly. Sometimes gas. Made me sick. Fever. Aches. Can't keep food down. They're fixing the genophage. I'm making a sacrifice. For all Krogan.
Do you need help getting out of here? You should be clear to the exit.
You don't understand. I'm not too sick to leave. I have to stay. They're curing the genophage. They're gonna make it all better. They have to keep doing the tests.
Caution, Shepard. Patient unstable, susceptible, brainwashed.
Why do you want them to keep doing the tests?
This is my fault. I got caught. Wasn't strong enough. Not good enough. This is the best I can do. This is all I can do. I'm not big enough to have a real shot with the females. I'll never have kids of my own. But if I help undo the genophage, then I mattered.
You've got a bruised ego. You got caught and beaten, so you tell yourself it was for something important.
That's not true. I need to stay. They're gonna cure us all.
You're not a real Krogan. When a real Krogan gets knocked down, he gets back up.
I did. I got back up every time they hit me. So many times.
You're lying there right now like a Vorcha grubbing in the mud. You gonna just lie there, Vorcha?
Screw you, human. Nobody says that to me. Nobody keeps me down.
Damn right they don't. Now get back to Clan Erdnot and report in. Go. Go!
Nicely done. Fortunately, subject is unlikely to be contagious.
Shepard, I'm detecting crates ahead that are holding unstable materials. A misplaced shot could cause a significant explosion.
Or explosive useful. Burn through Krogan armor.
Switch up!
Close combat. Problematic.
Time to fight!
Wish I were standing downwind.
Too late! Now! You're dead!
Enjoy. Malin, alive, unharmed. No signs of restraint, no evidence of torture. Don't understand.
For such a smart man, Professor, you always had trouble seeing evidence that disagreed with your preconceptions. How long will it take you to admit that I'm here because I wish to be here?
He wasn't kidnapped. He came here voluntarily to cure the genophage.
Impossible. Whole team agreed. Project necessary.
How was I supposed to disagree with the great Dr. Solus? I was your student! I looked up to you!
Experiments performed here. Live subjects, prisoners, torture and executions. You're doing?
We've already got the blood of millions on our hands, Doctor. If it takes a bit more to put things right, I can deal with that.
You honestly think the experiments you did here are justified?
We committed cultural genocide. Nothing I do will ever be justified. The experiments are monstrous because I was taught to be a monster.
Morton, did you ever perform experiments like this?
No. Never taught you this, Malin.
So your hands are clean. What does it matter if the ground is stained with the blood of millions? You taught me that the end justified the means. I will undo what we did, Professor. The only way I know how.
What happens if the genophage is cured and the Krogan expand again? That'll be on your head.
We justified this atrocity by saying the Krogan would cause havoc and war if their population recovered. But look at the galaxy. Batarian attacks in the Traverse, Geth attacks in the Citadel. Is this a more peaceful universe? The assault on your Eden Prime might never have happened if we had let the Krogan recover. We'll never know.
How would a Krogan population explosion have done anything to stop Saren and the Geth?
An increased Krogan population would have forced the Council to take steps, likely involving colony rights in the Traverse. The Turian fleets would be vigilant for any military activity in the area. They might have stopped the Geth at Eden Prime.
Supposition. Impossible to be certain.
Don't you see? We tried to play God and we failed. We only made things worse, and I'm going to fix it.
Why work with Clan Weirlock? And how did you access the genophage data?
The data was easy to obtain. We all still had clearance. We were heroes. All I had to do was ask. As for the Weirlock, they were the only clan with both the resources and the commitment.
Urdnot has a larger camp than Weirlock. Why not use them?
Urdnot Rex is too soft. He wasn't willing to do the experiments I needed. It's Urdnot's loss and Weirlock's gain. Their clan will be the first to recover from the crime we committed.
You talked about killing, but the genophage isn't lethal. It only affects fertility rates.
Krogan fight over fertile females. They become mercenaries or pirates because they see no alternative. They would be thriving in a cultural renaissance now had we not decided that this is what they deserved.
Inaccurate. Krogan population resulted in war. Simulations were clear.
We're shutting your lab down, Malin.
Shutting down more than that.
You can't face the truth, can you? Can't admit that your brilliant mind led you to commit an atrocity!
Unacceptable experiments. Unacceptable goals. Won't change. No choice. Have to kill you. Apologies, Commander. Misunderstood mission parameters. No kidnapping. My mistake. Thank you.
Don't worry about me, Morton. How are you doing?
Disappointed. Thought Malin better than that. Never suspected he'd go so far. Knew he was young, impressionable. Should have talked to him after. Gotten him through guilt.
You dealt with your issues by opening a medical clinic. He started experimenting on prisoners. You did the right thing.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. Malin dead, problem solved. Malin's research, only loose end. Could destroy it. Closure, security. Still valuable, though.
If you think it could be useful, why not hang on to it?
Worked for years to create modified genophage. Should destroy this. Malin's work could cure genophage. Don't know. Effects on Krogan, effects on Galaxy. Too many variables. Too many variables.
Keep the data. Better to have it and not need it.
Point taken, Shepard. Capturing data. Wiping local copy. Still years away from cure, but closer than starting from scratch. Done. Ready to go. Ready to be off to Chunka. Anywhere else. Maybe somewhere sunny.
Let's get out of here.
And the Solarians, too. Those little bastards think they're so smart. Yeah.
Clan Urdnot has increased in strength after the destruction of Clan Weirlock. Based on population profiles, Clan Urdnot has adopted surviving members of Clan Weirlock, mostly women and children.
Ah, intelligent move. Surprising from Krogan. Glad to see it.
Eyes straight ahead.
You... Welcome to the clan, Urdnot Grunt. Honored to be a part of it. Good for you. Now go find something else to do. Those fools brought this Tomka back from a skirmish without its combustion manifold. They say it got shot off in the field. You tell me, how can you expect a Tomka to run without a combustion manifold?
I found a combustion manifold out in the field. Is this what you need?
faster than building one from scratch, at least. You just saved me 3 days' work, human. You've earned my time if you want it.
Krogan place so much importance on martial strength. How did you become a mechanic?
How do you think those fools make it to the field to kill each other? Who do you think keeps the weapons working? Without me, there's no battle, just slaughter. I am the military might of Clan Urdnot.
How do you feel about what Rex is trying to do?
The old man's crazy if you ask me, which you just did. But that stuff fixes itself. If it doesn't work, Rex gets torn to shreds and we find out who's got the next best plan.
Let me get out of your way.
Don't do me any favors.
Give me a reason.
My scout made it back. We've got him at the tent. Doesn't remember much beyond getting tortured, but he remembers you. Said you yelled at him until he got his hump out of that base and back here. You've got a quad, human. Thanks for saving my scout. Saves me having to train another one.
What does the scout commander do?
We find out where the enemies are, and we make them think that there are too many of us to screw with. Sometimes that means harassing the perimeter, taking out a generator or two. Other times, we play hide and seek. We leave lots of tracks, exaggerate our numbers.
So every clan of Tachanka encroaches on the other clan's borders?
Borders? This is Tachanka. Our borders are determined by the range of our guns. We are what we are, human. If we didn't fire at them, they wouldn't take us seriously.
Don't your storehouses have automated defenses?
Why bother? Half of what we eat is vermin. And if we get hold of defense systems, we don't use them to guard grain. We've got weapons stockpiles to take care of. Beyond that, our women and children get the security.
Your enemies go after civilians?
Easiest way to wipe out a clan. Women and kids can fight, but they're always outnumbered if another clan goes after them. If its women and children are killed, the clan's hope for the future is lost. It falls apart. We don't do that, though. Rex's orders. Even if it costs us a battle, we don't fire on non-combatants.
Thanks for the information.
Don't know about the rest of your species, but you're good in my books, human.
Step back. My Baron is hungry.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Thanks for diverting to the Gurns back, Shepard. I appreciate being able to clean up that mess. And don't worry, it will not affect how I do my job. It's over.
I'm interested in getting to know you better.
Already? I'm not big on forcing these talks, Shepard. Let's do this later.
We'll talk later.
Commander.
Still hard to believe Malin betrayed me. Betrayed my work. Disgusted by his actions. Proud of his nerve, though. Always thought he lacked backbone. Shame I had to kill him. Might have made a good member of the team. Willing to get his hands dirty.
What about Malin's data on the genophage? His attempts at a cure?
What about it? Have it over there somewhere. Not dealing with it now. Need to focus on collectors. Not important now, regardless. Appreciate you helping me back on Tachanka. Should get back to work. Wasted enough time already. Lots to do. Talk later?
Commander.
I assume everything is going well up here?
Quiet enough. What the...
Trouble?
No, it's nothing. Son of a... Very funny, Edie. Real original. Stop it.
You did insist on manual control, Mr. Moreau.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
Do you need something?
Have a few minutes to talk?
Very well. I had been recording a message for Kolyat.
How are things going with him?
It is difficult. All things worth keeping are. I never explained. I suppose the story of my wife's death took you by surprise.
I figured you'd explain to me when you were ready.
I appreciate your patience. I kept my work clear of our home life. I assumed that would be enough to protect Erica. That memory I mentioned before. Laser dot trembles on the target's skull. The smell of spice on a spring wind. Sunset, eyes defiant in the scope. That was Erica. That was how I met her. She saw my targeting laser as she walked by and threw herself in the way.
I guess she impressed you.
She woke me up. Her body trembles. Not fear. Indignation. Her mouth moves. How dare you? You and I trained to sacrifice ourselves to save others. How often does a civilian step in the way of a bullet to protect someone they've never met? I thought she was the goddess Arashu. She met my eyes through the scope, and my purpose faltered.
So how did she go from blocking your shot to having your children?
I had to meet her. The memory possessed and endowed me. I fell on my knees before her, begged her pardon. She introduced me to the world beyond my work. Eventually, she forgave me. Later, she loved me.
When you talked to Kolyat, you said she died.
I let myself become complacent. I thought Erica and Kolyat were safe. I stayed away too long, and my enemies came for her.
Who came for her?
Batarians. A slaver ring that was preying on Hanar outer colonies. I'd killed their leaders. They paid the Shadow Broker to find out who I was. But they were afraid of me, so they went after her.
You told Kolyat that you hunted her killers down.
Erica woke me up. When she passed, I returned to my battle sleep. My body hunted her killers, murdered them. I was taught to grant death quickly, cleanly, to minimize suffering. I let them linger.
I don't blame you. They killed innocents to get to you.
For you and me, death is business. For people like them, it is sport. I haven't spoken about my wife, and I don't think I ever have. I didn't have anyone left to tell it to.
Thane, the worst thing is to face death with regrets. You're part of my crew, and I consider you a friend. If there's anything I can help you with, just ask.
I've never been part of a team. Assassins tend to be solitary. I'm learning the virtues of facing death with others at your side. It's a work in progress.
Hey, got a minute? Jacob deserves better than a father like that. I probably would have wanted to shoot him too. It must have been really hard for Samara to ask you to help kill her own daughter. She told me she really appreciated your help. As hardcore as she is, I'm not sure she could have done it without you. I'm glad to hear Thane and his son are back in touch. It'll be hard, but I think they'll be fine. Come back later. I'm sure I'll have more to talk about. The Red Rose. That used to be my calling card when I first started out. In place of whatever I took, I left a single red rose. It wasn't until I met Keiji that I realized how silly it was. He had a way of making you realize when you were just being sentimental. I stole that on a dare, believe it or not. There was a big museum show coming to Ilium. Artifacts from Earth going on tour. Very high security. Keiji dared me to steal this. So I broke in, hacked the security, put a few guards to sleep, and replaced the piece with a worthless duplicate. They never knew the difference. My first museum job. Nowhere near the last. Don't laugh, I like those books. Romance novels, crime novels, the classics. There's something about the feel of actual paper in your hands, their musty smell. It's relaxing. Keiji used to find books for me while on the job. Some of these are more valuable than the objects he was hired to steal. That's my favorite piece, painted for me by a child prodigy from Elysium. She was the cutest thing. She was kidnapped by slavers who hoped to sell her on Omega. I wasn't about to let that happen. I set up an idea as a buyer's rep to get a special tour of the slaver's vessel. Once aboard, I freed the girl and smuggled her off the ship. She painted that for me on the way home. I'll never forget how it felt to watch her work. That painting has a special place in my heart. An art collector hired me to steal it. When I got there, the painting was gone. On the way out, I saw it being hauled off by another thief. I chased him down, tackled him, and took the painting. That's how Keiji and I met. We never did turn it into our employers.
Shepard,
I wanted to check in.
I am always happy to talk with you.
I'm interested in hearing more about Asari Justicars.
We hold a unique place in Asari culture. Justicars are from another era. Young Asari grow up watching vids about our adventures. Pure fiction, of course. Some Asari are uncomfortable with us, but so few Justicars exist that most have never met one.
There were only a few Justicars?
Few Asari wish to make the sacrifices necessary to become one of us, and the training has a high casualty rate. It is a life of constant danger. Throughout the entire galaxy, there are only a handful of us at any time.
Why would anyone want to be a Justicar?
It is a deeply personal matter. Sometimes the most brutal path is the only honest one.
The Asari I've spoken to seem conflicted about Justicars.
In this age, people see shades of gray everywhere. The code of the Justicar is black and white. I might seem a hero to many, but I would kill all of them if I had to.
This code of the Justicar seems central to your life.
It is 5,000 sutras and covers every situation one can encounter. I have memorized every word. There is only the code.
Sometimes justice calls for mercy.
It does not exist to bring about spiritual enlightenment. Its purpose is to punish the wicked and protect the innocent.
What role do you think Justicars have in Asari society?
I would say that the closest human equivalent is a knight-errant in your medieval lore. Perhaps mixed with a bit of samurai.
You know about Knights Errant and Samurai?
When I knew I must leave Asari space again, I studied the history and morals of new species. When I was a maiden wandering the galaxy, humans had not yet arrived.
What did your studies tell you about us?
You are more individualistic than any other species I have encountered. If 3 humans are in a room, there will be 6 opinions. I like your species. I am curious to see what you will do.
What does your code say about killing?
I am compelled to kill the wicked. If a Justicar is involved, peaceful solutions are long past.
You make killing sound so casual.
I remember each being I have slain. They are always in my thoughts.
Does the code forbid romantic involvement?
It does not. However, I would never be interested in such. That part of my life is well behind me.
I should go.
I'm glad we spoke.
Erd not grunt. I like it. I have a clan. That makes me... It makes me want to fight, not just able to. And Uvink, I wanted to disembowel him, to tear out his spine like a trophy.
Can you focus that on our real enemy? Or do I have to lock you up for the ship's safety?
I get it now. It's part of what I am. It was just delayed because of being tank bred. Now that I know it's not an outside thing, and I have a place as a Krogan. I like it. Our enemies are in trouble, Shepard, and we better not run out of targets.
There's no danger of that. They're practically lining up.
Everyone gets a turn. Ha! Wouldn't want it any other way.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
Have you got time to talk?
Sure. Let me just... Come on, you little bushtet! Oh, sorry. I've got a small fever and I'm taking it out on the poor drive core. Don't worry, it's nothing serious. Got sloppy while doing some suit repair.
You're sick? Do you need help or time to rest?
Really, it's not that bad. If a stray bit of bacteria could really kill us, we'd have all died by now. The fever should go away in a day or two. Don't worry, it won't affect my performance on the mission. It's not even an illness, really. What we experience is actually an acute allergic reaction.
How did you get sick this time?
I took some fire in a fight back on the Allerai. Nothing serious, but I needed to open my suit to check the wound. I disinfected properly, but one of the section seals had taken some damage, and foreign matter got out of the disinfected zone. It was a stupid mistake. You always check your seals before doing local treatment. Unless you forget. Then you get a damn fever.
You can seal off part of your suit?
Right. Like dropping emergency doors on a ship during a hull breach. It won't stop an infection that gets into my bloodstream, but it prevents a surface infection from spreading.
How exactly does the sickness work? It's an allergic reaction?
Right. Say I get exposed to a human disease, like... What did Navigator Presley have that time? Chickenpox? I wouldn't get chickenpox, but I'd run a fever as my system reacted to the foreign presence. Depending on where it hits me, I could get other symptoms. Nausea, vomiting, everything you'd expect from being sick.
Were your immune system stronger before the Geth drove you from your homeworld?
Not as strong as those of most races, definitely. I'm not a biologist, but there's a theory about it. Because our planet lacked insect life, plants developed symbiotic relationships with large animals to spread seeds or pollen. Most viruses on our world were partially beneficial, so our immune systems evolved to be weak. They were more likely to adapt to contamination than fight it.
But Quarians colonized other worlds. They couldn't all have been like that.
They weren't. Most colonists went through a period of mild illness before adapting to the new environment. When the Geth took the homeworld in our colonies, the sterile environment on the flotilla ruined our immune system's adaptability. Even if we colonized a new world or reclaimed our own, we'd need a long process of bioengineering to recover.
I don't know if I could live inside a suit my whole life.
We are in our suits even among family. The most intimate thing we can do with another Quarian is link our suit environments. We get sick at first, and then we adapt. It's our most important gesture of trust, of acceptance. I haven't trusted anyone enough for that, though, except... well, no Quarians. You know what I mean.
Talk to you later, Tally. I hope you feel better soon.
See you later, Shepard.
This mission takes me back. Tough fight on Horizon. I fought slavers and kidnapping rings, but nothing like that. Some slavers took a little girl on a colony in the Skepsis system. Girl woke up, fought her way out, got picked up by my band well on her way to Omega. 8 years old. She'd have had no chance on Horizon. Collectors and Protheans. It's all above my pay grade. I'm more used to putting down rebellions, tracking down bastards who didn't pay their gambling debts. Still, even I know a galaxy-shaking revelation when I hear one. Makes fighting land wars for pay seem small time. I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard.